Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to conservation and careful management of the state's forests to make them more resilient and better habitats for wildlife. ChooseWood.com.
It's Tuesday, May 11th. This is The Gateway. I'm Wayne Pratt. Missouri will not be immediately using more than $2.5 billion from the Coronavirus Relief Act. The U.S. Treasury has released guidelines on how states can use the flexible funding to help with pandemic recovery. Those that apply quickly could get part of their money this month, but a spokeswoman for Governor Mike Parson says the administration will present a plan next year to lawmakers for how to spend that money. As states prepare for more federal funding to help deal with recovery, Illinois is heading toward a full economic reopening next month as its COVID-19 metrics improve. That is prompting the Department of Public Health to launch a program to vaccinate workers in office buildings throughout the state. Hannah Meisel has more.
The first wave of office building vaccine clinics will begin this week in Chicago, suburban Schaumburg, and Rockford, but the state is recruiting building managers across Illinois to set up vaccination opportunities for employees, especially security workers, custodians, front desk staff, and building engineers. Governor J.B. Pritzker says some vaccine hesitancy can be defeated by making shots easily accessible, like during shift changes in big buildings.
Many of these buildings' employees have been here day in and day out the entirety of the pandemic.
The Illinois Department of Public Health has responded to a recent slowdown in vaccine uptake with more targeted approaches, like mobile vaccine clinics in this office building effort, staffed by pharmacists from Walgreens. I'm Hannah Meisel.
The Missouri House has passed a bill to legalize needle exchange programs. The aim is to stop people from reusing dirty needles or sharing needles with others, which can spread diseases such as hepatitis C and HIV. There are needle exchange programs in Missouri, but it's currently a misdemeanor to provide needles for drug use. This bill would make it legal for registered organizations to run needle exchanges in hopes of reducing the spread of disease. St. Louis is taking the first steps in addressing complaints about the jail known as the Workhouse. A new food service is being hired to prepare meals for inmates. St. Louis Public Radio's Chad Davis reports.
Justice Center detainees and local activists have long criticized food quality at the jail and the medium security institution known as the Workhouse, who have said detainees often receive cold meals. Public safety officials say detainees at the Workhouse were disproportionately affected because meals were prepared at the Justice Center and transported to the Workhouse. Daniel Isom is the interim public safety director for St. Louis. He says the plan to close the Workhouse and improve food service at the Justice Center will allow detainees housed at the center to have access to better food.
There will be no need to ship food off-site. And so I think a lot of the complaints will be dealt with by closing down MSI.
Officials say the request for proposals process to select a new food service is ongoing. I'm Chad Davis, St. Louis Public Radio.
A major St. Louis agricultural technology firm is merging with an Illinois venture that specializes in acquiring private companies and taking them public. Benson Hill's deal with Star Peak II is valued at $2 billion. The ag tech company focuses on technology to develop healthier, more sustainable plants that are cheaper to produce. CEO Matt Crisp says the deal helps fund Benson Hill's work addressing the increasing global food demand.
We are at a point in time where the food supply chain has the potential to evolve from a system focused on quantity and producing cheap calories to one prioritizing nutrition and better flavor in plant-based food.
Crisp made those comments yesterday during a call with investors about the merger. The combined company is keeping the Benson Hill name. Benson Hill was founded in 2012 and has more than 300 workers. The Environmental Protection Agency is being called in to help determine why a creek in the Metro East turned white. The Belleville News-Democrat reports part of Schoenberger Creek was affected yesterday afternoon, although the color started to fade last night. East St. Louis Fire Chief Jason Blackman told the newspaper yesterday that initial testing did not reveal anything wrong.
We just got a preliminary that was actually water. There's nothing major right now. But tomorrow we're going to get in contact with EPA, so maybe they can come out and give another test of water and see if it's something else.
The section of the creek with the mysterious colored water runs between East St. Louis and Belleville. Some of the items we are following today in the St. Louis Public Radio newsroom. The final week of the Missouri legislative session continues in Jefferson City. A proposed fuel tax hike could come up on the House floor at any moment after the Fiscal Review Committee voted in favor of the bill yesterday. New research from Washington University shows certain genetic mutations make it more difficult to detect coronavirus. That could affect testing efforts as certain variants become more widespread. And officials will further discuss ideas to plug a sinkhole in a West County park. That hole is draining a lake in Lone Elk Park, which is near Valley Park. Shula Newman is the executive editor of St. Louis Public Radio, a member-supported service of the University of Missouri-St. Louis. Music by Ryan McNeely of Adult Fur. I'm Wayne Pratt. This has been The Gateway.
Support comes from Missouri Forest Products Association, committed to sustainable and sound conservation of the state's forests, which support more than 41,000 Missouri jobs, resulting in a $10 billion industry. ChooseWood.com.